Hello, and welcome to the GBTA Broadcast Studio. I am Dorothy Dowling. I'm on the GBTA Board of Directors and President of the Allied Leadership Council, and we're pleased to come to you from Toronto at the GBTA Conference. Today, I'm with Sharlene Ketwaroo-Nanoo. She's the Director at Large for Canada and GBTA Board of Directors. Welcome, Sharlene. It's great to have you.
Thank you, Dorothy.
So, Sharlene, I have a few questions. Last year, GBTA implemented some changes to their bylaws, and of course, part of that was the two directors at large, one of which you are now on the board with, representing Canada. So I wanted to ask you how you think that has helped GBTA evolve in terms of a more global footprint and understanding and appreciation.
Yeah, I think it's something that we as regions have fought for a while, to have that global voice, and it was important for GBTA to have that global representation because our membership is global. And so in order for us to truly serve a global membership, we must have those voices in leadership, and that will help to drive the organization forward into being global.
Right. And, as a Canadian myself, I totally concur with that point of view. I always said to people, it's the nuances that are where the differences are that
Absolutely.
we sometimes don't fully appreciate when we live in other parts of the world. So, given your experiences and the viewpoint that you bring to the board, why is it important for Canadians to really put themselves out there and run for a seat on the board?
I think you hit the nose on the head when you talked about nuances, right? When we volunteer and when we put ourselves out into the leadership of the association, it brings those nuances to the forefront. It shows the entire association, it shows the rest of the membership that we have a global mindset here in Canada, but that there are nuances about what we do, and there are things, our culture is different, despite the fact that some folks think it's not. It is a different culture, and we do think differently when it comes to travel here. And so I encourage our members to get involved and to run for the board, because we need to continue to bring that Canadian voice to the forefront to ensure that we continue to be global in our mindset in the association.
Sharlene, you've always been someone I've admired because you've always stood for what you believe in and been very active in GBTA. I'd like to hear from you as to what you would say to Canadian members on how they could get more involved with GBTA.
Yeah, start small, right? We know that as travel managers and as even suppliers, there's a lot going on in our world right now. We're all busier than we've ever been. We're all taking on more than we've ever had to take on. And so I say to them, it may feel intimidating at first, but there are all kinds of opportunities for Canadians to get involved, whether it be at the committee level. You don't have to start at the board of directors. There are a lot of Canadian-based volunteer opportunities. Have a conversation with current volunteers, have a conversation with the folks at the advisory board, and talk about what you think you can do. We will find a spot for you and find your spot and go from there, and you'll be able to build your volunteer experience with GBTA.
Well, if I could close out this interview, Sharlene, I just think you're a very strong example for everyone.
Thank you.
In terms of the learning and the growth that you've been able to bring to GBTA, and then also fuel your personal career. So I hope everyone thinks about how they can use GBTA to learn and grow themselves, but also contribute to this wonderful industry that we're all part of. So thank you.
Thank you, Dorothy.
And with that, thank you, Sharlene, for joining us at the GBTA Broadcast Studio. And thank you all for tuning in.